Good day and welcome to this week's Tilton Talk Show with Nick Spall, Mark Adams, Craig Courtney, Paul Hickis, Claire Giblin, Alan Watton, myself, Chris Brown, and our very special guest, Paul Robinson. And here's Paul now.
So, did you watch it, Robbo? Did you watch England Friday?
No, I don't watch these games. Too painful. Too painful for me. I just don't see the point in them. They're not competitive enough for me. England, they always seem to get a fair crack of the groups that they get in. Apart from the Italy game, they're the only real ones that I watch just because they've just got a lot more to them, a little bit more fire about them. But these games are just we're expected to win, so I just switch off. I don't.
Yeah. Quick question, Robbo. North Macedonia tonight. Okay, population 6. What are your scores going to be?
Well, I'm expecting at least 5 or 6-0.
Well, I've gone 7. I was saying 7 earlier. Yeah, 7-0. And if you don't get 7, I think that's a massive underachievement.
They beat Italy, though, didn't they? And knocked them out of the last World Cup.
Yeah, that was strange, wasn't it?
They're no mugs, are they?
No, it was a strange
I don't think they're quite as bad as Malta, but, we'll see anyway. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying, though, Robbo. These games are a little bit of a chore to watch, aren't they? So it's all about the big tournaments, isn't it? The Euros and the World Cup. So anyway, congratulations, Robbo, on playing for the first time with your son at the weekend.
Yes.
I'm sure that was experience for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, very emotional day, but very enjoyable. Felt good, which was surprising. After 5 years of retiring, my first real competitive game, and I really enjoyed it. It was good, really good.
Did you win?
Yeah, we won 3-1. Yeah, 1-3-1. So through County Cup it was. So into the quarterfinals now, the cup.
Yeah.
What position does your son play, Robbo?
He's a right winger, and I played left side centre half. I played there.
Really good.
Yeah. Who's that for, Robbo?
It's a team called Claverden, just like my local village team. Yeah.
Oh, I know Claverden very well. Yeah.
We got a good early question coming in for you, Robbo, from Ray Hobro. Question for Robbo: was it a good education for you coaching at Millwall?
Yes, very good. Thoroughly enjoyed my time there. 2.5 years, all in all. Most painful thing was getting in the car every morning and driving down the M40 and the M25. That was the struggles of travelling, but it's my job and I love doing it, and it put me in a much better place of where I want to be now. I want to be a manager one day. I've got all the right tools now, I feel, to go into that role, and it's just waiting for that opportunity. That's the only thing. So
it might come next week, Robbo, to be honest with you.
Can you sing the American national anthem? Because that'll do a good start.
So no Mark tonight then, guys.
Mark Meredith, Robbo, from when he was at the club. He was one of the coaches at the club going back about 10, 12 years.
Mark. I think he just left before I arrived.
Yeah, okay.
I think Mark did, but he did pop in every now and then.
Yeah. He lives.
So I know of him, but I don't think I spent enough time, or see him too much around the place.
Okay, yeah. He's in America now, anyway.
Does he come on? Is he on the show all the time?
Yeah.
It's in Dallas now.
He's got some great football knowledge. He really has.
He's a nice guy as well, Chris, isn't he?
He's a nice guy. Yeah. It's nice to have somebody on who knows what they're talking about. Actually,
I want to do a couple more questions, if I may, off the shout box. So Chelsea Smith's asking, Robbo, what do you see in a manager?
What do I see in a manager? Authority, respectfulness, qualities. I think you've got to be a manager with man management. So communication's important especially for me. I used to love talking to the players, making them understand, even when they're disappointed, they still need to know why and what you expect from them. So the communication's very important for me. But I just think the qualities and philosophy. You want to know what your manager wants to play and how you want it to play.
Yeah.
So there's loads of things that managers need to have the full tools, but I think the biggest one for me is the communication and management of everything.
A short, medium and long-term plan as well.
Yeah, I had a plan before I retired. My plan was to do all my coaching badges and do my coaching and work my way up the ladder. So that was my plan, and I think I've got another 2 more years now until I should be reaching the target of a manager. If it comes early, then great. I know I'm well prepared now, and I'm ready to go. So if it comes early, then I'm ready.
Would you come back to the Blues, Robbo?
Yeah, I'd love to come back and help I'd love to come back in and help in capacity because like you say, I finished my career there as a player. I know some of the players still there. I think they understand the way I work. But again, everyone's got all their staff. So I know Pete Shuttleworth. Obviously, I played against Wayne. I played against John and Ashley. And you've got to be respectful. And it's going to take time. I totally get it, and it'll be the same for me if I went in as a manager somewhere. You've got to give that person time. You've got to give them support. They've got to get their own players in with what they need and where they need them, and then you get judged. Then on that, I think that's when you get judged. You get judged on the squad that you're bringing into the building. So yeah, but
that happens, Robbo, on every managerial swap that we ever have. Right? Everybody says, "Got to have time. Got to have time." Have we got time?
That was what you
should have time, but it's the messages that come across. I think the owners have said that obviously the winning mentality side of it. Well, yeah, okay, that I understand you want the winning side of that, but you need to get the players how you want them to play first to get that winning mentality instilled into it. And obviously John had them playing a different way, and he had them and I saw something saying that obviously we missed John and all that. But if you look at John's record before he won the 2 games, it wasn't very good. So he'd won the last 2 games before he got the sack. And that's not me being disrespectful. It's you look at the record. Yeah. But everyone will also look at Wayne's record with what his history is, and it's not very good either. But he's Wayne Rooney, and he will get a lot more time and a lot more chances because he's Wayne Rooney, whereas John hasn't, and he's been obviously given the push. But it is football for me. Is you go into a job, and the most important thing is 3 points. That's it. End of story. That's all it is. You got to win straight away. But I think with Wayne, are they the type of players that are going to be used to the way that he wants to play? I don't think they are. No, and we're seeing maybe a lot of changes at the moment with how he wants certain players to play in it, and he's trying to find that balance. He's had international break where now he's got 2 weeks solid of working that into the players and getting them to understand with how he wants to play. So yeah,
2 weeks on the last international break.
Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham now are 2 massive games where you're expecting 6 points. That's what you're expecting.
Yeah. Jason Hughes is asking, at what level would Robbo consider he could start at as a manager?
I think I'd go National League if there was an opportunity for me. I would love the challenge. I'm a type of guy who likes challenges. But it's something you've also got to consider is that you're going into a club that's got stability. I don't want to be going into a job knowing that I've only got 6 months in there. Because, like I've just said there, the points is you've got to try and settle the group and try and get into playing with how you need to play. You've got to understand that the players you've got there might not be able to do that, so you've got to gradually build them up to get them to understand that. And then, I think the biggest thing for me is stability and support. That's all you want. You want the support from the management team behind the scenes, and knowing that if you do go for a rough period, that they're going to stick behind you and not just all of a sudden make a panic decision.
Yeah. And a good example, I suppose, is Paul Caddis, isn't it? At Hereford, he's doing really well, isn't he, there?
Yeah, Caddy is. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So, and again, because it's his first job, it's a league he doesn't really know. But Paul's like me; he's got that the grit and determination to go and do well for himself. So yeah, I'm glad it's all working out for him at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I genuinely can't wait to see you get the opportunity, for the first time. And what sort of, I suppose it depends on what players that you get, doesn't it? But what sort of system do you think you play, and what sort of style of football? Would you be more attacking or?
Yeah, no, I like attacking, flowing football, 4-3-3. I like the 3-4-3 as well. But the 3-4-3, you've got to have players that can play that formation. So your centre halves have got to be expansive, and you can't worry about your fullbacks being dragged right back into playing a 5. For me, I like the 3 at the back with your wing backs nice and high and being aggressive. So they're my 2 preferred formations. But again, it just depends on the players that you've got available to you at the club that you're going to go into.
Yeah, because that's one thing we're finding at Blues now, obviously, since Rooney's come in. These players that we've had, obviously, that we're used to the way John Eustace played, are struggling a bit to adjust to the way Wayne Rooney wants to play, and it's all front foot. And against Ipswich, it was absolutely amazing, but they were on their knees after like an hour to 7, and we had to make like 3 or 4 subs, and, we all know what happened then. We threw a 2-goal lead away, so... I guess it's you've got to have really high fitness levels. I think you've got to be able to elite level fitness.
Bit deja vu.
Ipswich as well. They're free flowing, and they're having a fantastic season, Ipswich, and I really like watching them. But like you say, the manager's been there now. This is his 2nd year with them, so the players know what they expect, and he knows what he expects of them players. Even the subs, when you watch the subs that come on, they all know their jobs, so they know what they're doing. That's what Wayne wants. You can see eventually, if Wayne gets his formation right and he gets the players that he wants in, then hopefully that's what it'll look like. So it's going to be frustrating. I understand it's going to be frustrating because people will look back on the Zola situation as well, and they'll have flashbacks of that.
Yeah.
But for me, we just got to be patient and just get behind everybody and hope that it goes in the right direction and where you want it to, and that's to get back to the Premier League. That's where everyone wants to be.
Eventually, yeah.
Paul, can I ask you something? when you were a player, I'm sure you played long enough to have several changes in manager during your career in various clubs. On the day it happens, right? What goes through the players' minds? What are they thinking? Is this guy, great, this guy's coming in. Who the hell's this bloke? Why did they get rid of the last bloke? All these things are going through the supporters' minds. Well, what about the players? What do you think when he turns out on the training field first morning? What's going through the players' minds?
Well, in my mind, is to be professional. I get paid by that football club to act professionally. Look, football is going to change all the time. Good managers who you work with, who you enjoy working with, are going to go, and managers that will sometimes not like you and not want to play you. That you just got to accept it and be respectful. That my job is to play football. That's what I love doing. My job was to be professional as much as I can, but also to set an example to the younger players around the squad. Is that you can't sulk, you can't have a bad attitude, because now you're rubbing off on them. You're giving them a negative outlook on certain things, whereas their career's just getting going. So you need to get right behind them and help them as much as possible. So, yeah, for me, it was every manager that I worked for, I wanted to learn something different. That was the way it is. Every manager has their own style. Every manager has a different formation. And if you don't suit certain formations and the manager knows that, then it's part and parcel of the job. You just get on with it, unfortunately.
But what you said there, though, Robbo, is if the manager doesn't like you, that manager's surely got to be professional and put that aside. Because if you're the best player at the club and he don't like you, you've still got to play him, surely. Not really, no, because I've seen players, really good players I've played with that have not played in teams that the managers that he's come in, because it's a different formation. And he doesn't want to learn a different formation because he's been used to playing his way all of his life, which is fine. But like you say, Matt, some managers are different and they want to change things, and they want to. What they'll do is they'll think they're improving and making the team look better. Do you think this wholesale change for Birmingham City is going to be a good thing long term?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think the owners now are they're very hands on. They're very full on. And how long have Birmingham fans been waiting for an owner to do this? It's been a long time, and for me, I think it's just positive. You can see that they're invested in the club. They want the club to move forward, and I think that's a good sign. I think like when you have owners that are invested in it and they're willing to throw money at it, and they're going to have to in January with Wayne. They're going to have to support him, and they're going to have to give him the funds to bring the players in that he wants. Obviously, I don't know the situation with that. They still have to be cautious with the amount of money they have to spend. I'm not too sure with the football fair play. But it's exciting. I'm excited. I am. I'm excited to see how it goes in January and what players come through the door.
Yeah, so am I. A bit of what you said there, Robbo, as well. We're getting at the minute with I'd say with Siriki Dembele, because he was our best player against Huddersfield and the Baggies. And then suddenly he's not in the team under Rooney. You know, he's missing out. And I find it hard to believe, but, you know, maybe he just doesn't think he suits the system that he plays, like you say.
Maybe. He's had a few injuries as well, hasn't he? I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but he's a type of player that you have to manage, maybe, that he can't play all the games. But he is, on his day. Dembele is a very dangerous player. I mean, I played against him when he was at Peterborough, and he just caused so many problems because of his movement.
Yeah.
But I think, like you say, it's people sometimes will be attached to John because of what he did for them as players and as people. So they'll naturally have that sort of connection with John. Now Wayne's come in, it's a little bit different, and they've now got to understand how he wants to play and how he wants the team to move. And it takes time, and for players, you're being asked to do something different. But in the future, if you buy into that and you're on board with that, then it only looks good for the football club and you as a player, because you're
don't you think though, Robert,
together.
Don't you think though it would have been better for Wayne to have adopted more of the Eustace style until January?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not Wayne Rooney. That's Wayne came in and he wants his style straight away. Only Wayne can answer that question, but
because we'd got the players and we were playing the players in the formations and that they knew, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, wholesale change comes in and everything's changed, right? People don't like change, really, do they? They don't. In any industry, in any business, people do not like change. So, it's a simple question. Would it have been better for us to have gone, okay, crack on, and then January, we're changing this?
It could have been in the eyes of everyone, yeah. Maybe he should have stuck to what John was doing, but...
I know hindsight's a wonderful thing and all this happening of that. But I don't know, we seem to have had a settled team that was quite solid.
But you've had a few injuries, haven't you? Ethan Laird's been out injured and he's just coming back now. He's a good player. Keshy Anderson's obviously a big loss because he's an out-and-out winger. You've just...
Tyler
Roberts has not featured at all, really. Like defensively, obviously, you've got Sanderson, you've got Long, you've got Roberts. Are they players that Wayne wants? I'm sure Wayne wants more ball-playing centre-halves. I think they can do it, but I think it will take time for them to do it.
Robert, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Claire.
No, say if you thought, like, for example, Rooney, a lot of us believe that because he's just played 4-2-3-1, would you, if you went to a new team, would you want to change it to put your own stamp on it, or would you still be happy to play that formation even though the old manager played it?
Well, there's always questions asked, isn't there, of like, well, you're still playing the old manager's formation. That's probably where Wayne's thinking is that he probably thinks he can get a lot more out of the players in a different formation, like a little bit more free flowing. Because is he playing a 4-3-3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 4-3-3 formation for me it's more free flowing because you two attacking midfield players should be in, like you say, higher positions up the pitch. You've got your wingers then that can dip inside or stay wide, high and wide. So it's how you get the players to rotate. And that's the thing. It's how much do the players want to take all of the information on board that Wayne's given them? Because for me, it's simple. It's the information's clear. If what Wayne's given his messages across for how he wants his players to play, you're professional football players. You should be able to do it. You've been doing it all your career, no matter, like even from a young age, you always interchanged and you always played in different formations. So it's the norm for how we were programmed to do certain things. So I always believe that formations are formations, but it's the player and you yourself. It's either you do want to do it or you don't want to do it. It's simple as that.
Robbo, sorry, Robbo. Sorry, Robbo. A minute ago you said about players sulking. Does that to what extent does that go on? Have you witnessed it yourself?
Say again, Mark.
And how does that rub off on the rest of the squad?
Players sulking. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen it plenty of times where players have thrown the towel in and they've just given up. And for me, I don't.
That's incredible.
Sorry, Robbo. How does that sort of rub off on the rest of the squad in your experience?
Doesn't happen. Not if you're in the changing room with me. It doesn't happen. You're gone. Like, even I'll put my foot down with you because you respect the manager that's come through the door. No matter what we're feeling or how you're feeling, is you're professional and you get on with your job. You get paid a lot of money to do your job. And if you're going to act like a baby and you're going to sulk with how the manager wants you to play, then you're no good for this football club. You need to move on. You need to find stuff.
I like your philosophy, Robbo. I really do.
Yeah. Paul, I think you've already answered my question. What I was going to ask. I was going to ask about you personally. If you were in that situation, would you let the sulkers get away with it?
No, you don't.
No. Well, I got a feeling about the side. The change was a shock to a lot of people, and I got a feeling that there are the squad as a whole contains people who aren't quite into the new style, and that's we need somebody in the side, the captain or senior pro or whatever, just throw his weight around and say, hey, give him a ticking off, shall we put it that way? Which I don't think that is happening at Birmingham City at the moment. It just isn't.
Certain players don't like being told what to do, though, either. That's the problem in football now. A lot of players don't like being told honesty.
Because they think they're bigger than everything else and bigger than the club.
Yeah, but not even that. They just don't like people telling them, like, being honest. Why are you not running? Why are you not doing your job? Why are you not helping your teammate out? Some people don't like that. Unfortunately,
I'm 61 years old, Robert. And
it's just the way the game's going. Unfortunately, it's going where you want leaders in the dressing room to all have their opinion, but you respect their opinion and you get on with it and you roll your sleeves up and you fight.
Robbo, there's some great questions coming in on the message board at the moment, and
it's mad.
Nigel Mann has asked if you could form your ideal backroom staff from people of past and present, who would they be and why?
Oh, it's a good. Well, I might give that away if I do get a job.
Well, I'm willing to talk terms, Paul. Don't worry.
Yeah, me and Mark will be there as well if you need us.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll have a look out on my phone as well, Rob. I'll wait for the call.
I'll be there for you, Rob.
I think, like you say, I've worked with a lot of good people over the years, but it's about people that you trust and people trust. You've got to have trust in them. So if I trust them, they've got to trust me as well. And I think that's the most important thing, is that we're all on the same page. We all understand where we want the club to be, where we want the club to go. And there's no grey area. That's the biggest thing for me. But I also want my staff to be big communicators. So if I'm not talking to the players, I'm making sure that they're talking to the players as well. Which I know full well is that Wayne will be doing that, because you look at the experience and the knowledge that he's brought with him. If I'm a player and I'm coming through playing under them, I would want to know a hell of a lot about football, talking to them on a daily basis.
Dave Twine's asking you, Robbo, what are your thoughts on VAR?
Rubbish. Absolute waste of time. It makes
would you get rid of it?
It makes more errors than it does make corrections.
Would you get rid of it, Robbo?
Yeah, I'll get rid of it. I would just go back to just let the officials official. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. It is part of the game.
I think back to Maradona's handball, though. I think back to, I don't know if you remember Andrew Johnson in Cardiff against Liverpool, and he's brought down by Stefan Honshaw. Lee
Lampard's goal.
Yeah, that was goal line. Yeah, I mean, goal line technology, I'd keep that anyway. But they just can't seem to. They're making VAR so complicated, I think. And even sitting in the stadium in Wembley on Friday night when Declan Rice's goal was disallowed, you know, I called it. I said at the time why it was disallowed, why I thought it was disallowed. But what's wrong is I didn't know. They're not telling you. You're sitting in the stadium. Yeah. And on the big screens, they should show you what everyone can see at home on the TV with the lines and everything. So,
do they not then, Paul? I didn't know they didn't. To be honest with you.
They don't do that in the stadium, no. And I think that would be a lot better for the players and the fans in the stadium to know why, to know exactly what's going on.
You go back to rugby. You go to rugby. They describe everything that's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
look what's happened though. When they have explained it, they've been caught on their radios, and it's an absolute farce. For me, you're just exposing now referees and linesmen making decisions or VAR, and it's embarrassing. You're looking at it, you're going, why are you even communicating that? Because it's so obvious with what you've made a massive mistake there. But it's embarrassing them. They're embarrassing themselves now, and that's where the game's going. Unfortunately, with all this technology, take the technology out of it. Just let the game be free flowing like it used to be. Decisions are going to be made where they're going to be wrong, and there's going to be decisions that we're all going to get annoyed about. But at least the game's not going to be stop-start.
Yeah. Because I was more in favour of it personally. I thought, you know, when I saw it in the World Cup in 2018, I thought this is great. You know, we're finally not going to get cheated out of things like Maradona.
Yeah, it worked well then, Paul. But look what's going on now, right? Everybody's debating VAR decisions.
Yeah, it's a topic of discussion every week now. It's like we're not talking about the football; we're talking about.
No, you're dead right. You're dead right.
We just we've even got Mike Dean on Soccer Saturday talking about decisions. This is where we're going. It's like, hold on a minute, why have we got a referee on Soccer Saturday talking about decisions that are going in games?
Trying to be a celebrity.
Yeah, that's what it is, but it's all about opinions now.
Because it's not just the technology that's the issue, though, is it? It's the actual people that are operating it. You know,
it could be done so much easier.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they should have an ex-player in the studio that's neutral to the clubs that are playing. You know,
but then the players wouldn't want that pressure of making the decision. Then you're now putting that on the next player's head by going, oh, what do you think? And now you're in an awkward position. The big decisions you want right, don't you? So but it could be done so much quick and easier, but it's not. It's delayed and everyone's in the, like, again, goal celebrations. No one celebrates a goal because they're always worried about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And just taking the love out of the game of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing, Robbo. Right, this when somebody's offside, you let the game go on for 20 seconds before you pull it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That drives me mad. Yeah. That drives me mad, that does. They need to stop that because someone is going to get injured badly, unnecessarily, because the linesman waits to put his flag up, like you say, and then he knew he was offside 5 seconds ago, and then he puts his flag up, and the player thinks he's onside. He's going to run
through. That is probably one of the worst decisions of rule making in football that's ever happened. It's ridiculous.
But then, if your team scores and it's the right decision, are you going to moan about it? Because I wouldn't.
No.
I have to wait. Sorry.
I think we've got to get back to humanity, Claire. We've got to get back to humans. Humans.
But even like you say, like the Championship doesn't have VAR, so your game against West Brom with a penalty, everyone can see it's not a penalty, but it's given a penalty. No, but it is though. But this is your argument, isn't it? It's like we're all buzzing because you got the penalty, but then you got the opposition fan, and then you watching it on telly, you're going, that's a disgrace, which it is. It's a disgrace decision. And we had at Millwall, we had plenty of decisions where we literally got nothing because it's probably the name, it's Millwall. So you wouldn't get some of the decisions. So you get frustrated with it all. But like you say, I think with VAR, if it's going to work, it has to be done just so much quicker. Or you let the game carry on until you come back to that. You come back to it. So like,
right, no, Robbo, stop.
Brilliant.
Let's take you back to that time when Manchester City scored that very late winner to win the Premier League. Yeah. So you got a VAR decision. They go and score. What do? Do you stop the game and then just allow that goal and then come back again?
If needs,
it's a difficult one, isn't it?
The game has stopped. It's not if he did score. It's if he didn't.
Yeah.
What
I'm saying is,
you can do all sorts. It's when the game carries on and the offside hasn't been given. If an offside hasn't been given, the bloke runs through and the goalkeeper comes out and smacks him in the face, the goalkeeper should be sent off. But then somebody says, "Oh no, that shouldn't have counted because he was offside." No, that's when it gets ridiculous. Because if you commit a serious foul play, whether the game's stopped or not, you get sent off. But what will happen now is a goalkeeper will run out, tip somebody over, and not even get a booking because the guy was offside. So what they're saying is that incident never happened. So it gives you carte blanche to flatten anybody you like, and you can stay on. And it's madness. If an offside is an offside, the flag should go up. Now, I can remember a game in Spain with Birmingham, and basically the ball went through, and it was Melchior ran off behind. He didn't touch the ball. He was offside, right? But he didn't touch the ball. He ran after it, and eventually the goalkeeper and him came together, and the goalkeeper kicked him up in the air. Now, Melchior was carried off, right, at the pre-season game, so they're not going to risk him.
Wasn't a Champions League game.
And then the linesman puts his flag up and they give offside. Now, if you'd give offside when the ball crossed the bloody halfway line, because that's when he was offside, that injury wouldn't have happened. And you can't preempt what's going to happen. If he's offside, he's offside. And if the whistle goes, then anything else, the game will stop then. Nobody will get hurt. Nobody will get upset. Just play the game. The way they do it now, you could. I mean, look in the Carling Cup final when it was.
Oliver Burke.
There was no sanction against that goalkeeper. Okay, he was given offside incorrectly as it happened, but the goalkeeper should have been at least yellow carded, if not sent off, because he just went out and took him out.
Well, Oliver Burke the other week at Southampton, that was a more recent one. That was more recent could have had. But I wanted to ask you, Robbo, as well about parachute payments, because it's something that bugs me. I'm not going to lie. Whenever a team gets relegated, they get 40 million quid when they come down to try and help them stay up. And I just think since it's been brought into the game, into our league since 2015, I just think it's unfair on all the other teams really that are in the league. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on it.
It's a strange one, isn't it? But again, it's always been for some reason with them payments. So, you're always competing, then, aren't you, against the teams that come down? Even when you look at this year's teams that have come down, like your Leeds, your Leicesters, your Southamptons, they've got the power to go and just spend whoever they want to spend, and sell for a lot of £1 million as well. But I think it's just. I think we've managed to deal with that, and we just get on with it. But yeah, it's something that probably needs to change. Maybe the purse needs to be dropped and not be so much money. But again, then discussions you're never involved in, so you don't really quite know how it works.
No, exactly, yeah. Because I'm all for rewarding the club after they've been promoted, but when they've been relegated, I don't think they should get anything personally.
Well, it's reward for failure, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a great question that's coming from James Smith, and he said, Robbo, you were there when Zola came in and tried to change the style overnight. He genuinely believes and thinks that if he was given a pre-season, that he'd have actually done well at Birmingham. He said Rooney has done the same and seems to be at the moment going down the same failure route. How long do you think it takes for players to adapt to new ideas before they say, I can't do it?
Well, that's the players then can only answer that question. But for me, it's you got to adapt because the new manager's come in and he wants you to play that way. I mean, Zola, to be fair to Zola, he tried so much with our group of players and it just never seemed to work. I think that was the added pressure of who he was when he came in. The job that he had to do was with what Gary Rowett had done. The players then that he tried to bring in to change that couldn't, for some reason or another. I don't think they could cope with what he was wanting. So I think on a transfer side of it, he maybe felt that he'd messed up with bringing them types of players in. So there was a lot of things that didn't go Zola's way, whereas I think Wayne will be a little bit different because he's know-how of what he wants. I think he'll want a certain type, whereas Gianfranco tried a few different avenues down, obviously, the continental route with players that don't really know the Championship. Like when Chet Cater come in, I thought, who's this kid? I'd never heard of him. I'd never seen him. And when he came through the door, he was like a FIFA player. And you were trying to help him because you were trying to help him to understand you play for Birmingham. You're not like, this is not FIFA. So the skills that you're going to do in the Championship, you're not going to be able to get away with it. So there's a time and a place to do that sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he was a player who the fans quite liked because they got on the edge of their seats with it. But you could see that the fans he was the type of player they'd get frustrated with because he wasn't doing the job that was expected of him at Birmingham City or what Gianfranco wanted. So I think the balance has got to be key with that. I think you've got to find the right balance with what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. But I think with Wayne, like you say, Gianfranco had Cannavaro around him, so he had international quality players, and Gabby Kufi as well, who was with him, who again had a different understanding and a different mindset of types of players. I think you've got, like with Wayne, you've got Ashley Cole. He went on loan in the Championship. He understands it. You've got John O'Shea. He's played in the Championship. He understands it. Wayne's managed and played in the Championship. He understands it. You've got Pete Shuttleworth there, who's been around Birmingham. He understands Birmingham, so he'll be the right-hand man of feeding Wayne the information with what he needs. And you've got Carl Robinson, he's played in England as well, and he understands it. So you've got a good group of people there that will, and recruitment-wise, that's when getting their heads together and hopefully pulling the right group of players that will move Birmingham City forward.
A very direct question, Robbo. Do you think this is going to work?
I do.
No, it's fair enough, mate. Yeah, fair enough.
I do believe it's going to work. Yeah, I'm not sitting here now. I don't want to be negative because of what the good job that John done with how he stabilised it and how he got the players playing the way that we got them playing. But I think, as football fans, we always get excited when the owners are the way that they are and the way they want the club to move. I think it's exciting times ahead. So I think, you've just got to. January's the big window, isn't it? That's what everyone's going to look at, is the players that come through the door. And that's when you get a little bit excited, and then that's when you're hoping that the results change.
Just on a lighter note, Robbo, there's a bit of banter flying about on the chat. So Steve Portman said, who is your favourite coach driver, Robbo? And then Simon Andrews, he's not list as well.
Good old Si. Si was a legend. What a coach driver, Si. Yeah, I love working with Si. A real great guy. No, I think at every club the coach drivers they're the ones who don't get their recognition really, because they drive you up and down the country and you're putting your trust in them driving you with the players that you've got on board. So Simon for me was a fantastic coach driver, and I loved his company. We always had chats. You always have the respect for them when they're taking you away. Yes, we give them a little bit of banter, but they give it back, which is great, and that's the way it should be. But no, Simon was a fantastic coach driver for Birmingham when I was there.
Coach driver, right? In the Premier League could have, knocking on for £1.5, maybe £2 billion worth of talent behind him.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a responsibility.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but with our level, we always used to have great communication with the driver. We never felt like we could leave him out because he was part of the team. He was, of course,
yeah.
Whereas, like you say, in the Premier League, they probably don't get spoken to.
Yeah.
Not probably. They won't get spoken to at all. They'll just be somebody who's doing a menial task, right? Because, I'm saying much better than you because I've got headphones on.
Yeah.
What's your best memories from Robbo's time with us as a player?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, she's starstruck.
I know, I'm just a moment here. I'm just sitting here, just listening, like, yeah. I just think that his passion and belief, and always, like, you always had a card in your rubber, I'm not going to lie. Always on the edge. No, that is literally, if you go like a rubber, it's like, how many red cards did you get, or yellow? How many red and yellow cards did you get in your career?
I think I lost count on the yellows. I think I got 9 reds. 9 reds.
9
Yeah,
reds.
That was me. I really don't care what anyone thinks about me. Like I read all the negative comments. I read all the bad publicity that goes in the papers. I don't care. I loved my job. I loved living on the edge. I was a winner. I wanted to win. Every club I played for, I understood what it meant. Yes, okay, I let the fans down with my stupidity and my over-exaggerating tackles that I went in for. But that was the way I played. And if I went into a tackle and I got hurt, I knew that was part and parcel of the game. I knew that was going to come one day.
For me, the most wonderful
to get hurt for my team. That's the difference. I'd always get hurt for my teammates.
The most wonderful thing for me, right, and not because it was the end of your career, because your career was amazing. We loved you at Birmingham, I promise you. Fulham, when you came on.
Yes.
I didn't hear the speech because, unfortunately, I was at the top of the Gil Merrick stand, and the speakers up there are absolutely chronic, right? And but that moment when you came on that pitch, you experienced what Birmingham City fans are all about: passion, drive, everything that we could ever crave for. And that moment for me, Robbo, it was some great moments, but that single moment for me was the icing on my cake.
Yeah, no, it was.
What a game! What a game! Yeah!
I was recording it, wasn't I, Robbo, for you? But I'd been in the Legends Lounge for about 2.5 hours, so it was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? The recording.
Yeah, no, we got because my wife and boys were there because they've been my biggest supporters. My mum and dad, they've been like throughout my career, they've always supported me and they've got me through the bad times and they've, like you say, enjoyed all the good times that we've had together. So, no, it's like you say, when you've played the game for 22 years and you know it's coming to the end, it's very emotional, and I couldn't have wished for it to end at a better club, especially with the support I've had, especially when I signed. There was a lot of negativity, but that's, again, like I said before, that's football. That doesn't bother me. The most important thing for me is that I tried to take Birmingham City Club forward. I think I had the greatest memory for me was the Bolton game away when we survived because I hated it. I hated the fact that Birmingham City was close to going into possibly liquidation. We'd never know, or administration. So that's what annoys me the most, is that a club like Birmingham was always down there, whereas I was a winner. But I found that so frustrating to play in because I was the captain. There was always added pressure to perform week in, week out, to win. Lee Clark was another one who was always highlighted as a negative man, like a manager that we should have moved on from. But his passion and his love for the club was something that a lot of people never saw behind the club, behind closed doors, was the amount of hurt and the amount of pain that he was feeling because of the way the club was going and where it was going.
I can't get my head around that it was 10 years ago. This coming.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
And it is the greatest. It is one of the best away games I've ever been to. You know, and then I mean, in a weird way, yes, it was emotional and all the rest of it. But like Robbo said, you wish it was for a top 6 place, not a scraping up. It was like a cup final. I mean, I was on the top tier. I think I ended up about 20 rows in front. I don't think I found my. Well, I haven't got any friends anyway, but the people I went with
commentary.
The lads I went with, I didn't find them till after the final whistle. So it's just an amazing day. It's superb.
Fantastic.
I didn't experience that day, Mark. What was it like outside when you all were coming outside? What was the buzz?
The buzz, what, before the game or after?
No, after.
Afterwards it was just like being at Wembley again. It was like people in the sunroofs flying the flags. Bolton fans were just clapping, just sharing, having random hugs. People giving you beer. It was just like being at Wembley again. It was unreal. And
I love the shot of the coach driver in the off license getting the beers in for all the players on the coach.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the coach driver. It was a kit man, wasn't it? Sorry.
It was Kitman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But on the way home, the coach was quiet. Everyone was emotionally drained.
Yeah.
Just because of the occasion and everything about it there was just so much pressure. Like you never felt that much pressure going into a game before.
Yeah. I think I could. Well, Robbo, just from interviewing some of the lads on here, like, we've had Paul Caddis on and, he even said that after that, he had Darren Randolph and Lee Novak in his front garden at about 3 o'clock in the morning singing There's Only One Paul Caddis.
Yeah.
And then we also had Wayne Elliott tell us as well that a certain somebody took some chickens up the training ground.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did the chef want to cook an omelette or something? Was that what it was?
Oh, yeah, we had no eggs at the training ground. There wasn't, he's making out there was no delivery, but I think he forgot to order them. So I paid for 6 live chickens. I got them delivered to the training ground.
Robbo, you still in touch with them lot?
I still speak to Caddy, yeah. Yeah, I still speak to Caddy every now and then. Obviously, I sent him a text to congratulate him on his role at Hereford, and I hope it goes really well for him. And then I still speak to Curtis Davis every now and then. So yeah, some of the players that obviously when I first come through the door, stay in touch with Darren Ambrose. Yeah, so I still have great connections with the players there, which is nice because it was a real good group. It was a real good unity. It was just a shame the way it was going at the time. It was probably one of the toughest periods of my career of whatever I've played in, just to be involved in the whole situation of the club situation and trying to perform and win games. Yeah, it was change of managers, players coming through the door, a hell of a lot of players coming through the door, certain players going. Yeah, it was definitely an eye-opener being at Birmingham City. But what I'm saying, but what I was saying is them demands shouldn't be surviving. That's what it shouldn't be.
That's what we've been most of my life, though.
Yeah, my expectations as a player is I want to win. I want to get promoted. That's my demands.
Yeah.
Who's the best player you've ever played with and managed or coached?
Well, the best player that I've probably played with would have been Jonathan Greening or Kevin Phillips at West Brom. I also had Jack Wiltshire and Gary Cahill at Bolton. They were excellent players. And then the one that obviously Jude, when he first come through, you could see that he was going to be an exceptional talent and a well-rounded kid with a great attitude and a desire to go on and be the best player in the world. That's what we're seeing at the moment. And then there's a few young lads who I work with at Millwall, like your Danny McNamara's, your Billy Mitchells and Romain Eze's. They've got great futures ahead of them, so I'm excited to see them develop over the years.
Yeah.
Well, is he related to Albrecht Eze at Crystal Palace? Romain, did you say?
No, Romain's not. No.
Okay.
It's a shame that we, as little old Birmingham City, right here in the middle of the Midlands, have just produced probably one of the world's best players. And what a shame that we, as the second city in the country, can't keep hold of people like that and improve our squad dramatically.
Hopefully,
Yeah, but you're not going to keep hold of players like that, unfortunately, because they're just that's
all right.
That's the way
Here's
they
a
need to
question
go.
for you then, Robert. Are we going to keep players like that in 5 years' time?
No, because it's unfair on them players of where their ambitions lie.
No. Right, okay, no. I'm on about the Rooney project, right?
No, we're still not. No.
Are we going to be able to keep better quality players?
No.
Not Jude's standard.
No.
Why would he not like? You know,
Jude is a.
Stay at Birmingham City when he can play for Real Madrid, who won this amount of Champions Leagues, and like.
Yeah.
We could be halfway in the Premier League. Would we have no chance of keeping hold of them?
No.
We'd be in the top 10 in the Premier.
Okay, right. No. I like opinions.
I think if we win the Premiership, we
You could win the Premier League and you wouldn't keep him.
No, I think you're right.
You could win it and you wouldn't keep keep him.
No, I agree.
Robbo, Nigel Mann has said you've been very positive over certain names. So would Cadiz, Davies and Ambrose make decent backroom stuff?
they're trying.
That's a yes from Robert.
Moving on with
They'd be good people to touch base with, definitely.
With it being international,
very diplomatic answer there, Robbo. By the way, very diplomatic answer.
With it being international break, Robbo, we've asked you to do your England lifetime. I mean, your lifetime so far. We've asked you to do your England 1 to 11, haven't we? So, would you mind telling us what that is, please?
I will.
What formation? What formation you playing?
I've gone 4-3-3.
Yeah. Okay.
4-3-3. I've gone David Seaman in goal.
Yeah.
I've gone centre halves Rio Ferdinand and John Terry.
Yeah.
Full-backs Gary Neville right back, Ashley Cole left back.
Yeah.
I've gone sitting midfield Paul Scholes.
Ooh, yeah.
With two advanced of Paul Gascoigne and Brian Robson.
Ooh, nice midfield that is.
Wide. So the front three, I've now gone with Beckham, Alan Shearer, and John Barnes.
Oh, what?
Wow.
So you got your natural wingers there for Alan Shearer to stick his head on it and put it in the back of the net.
Absolutely. Yeah. And captain and manager?
Captain, I've gone for Brian Robson because he was an absolute leader for me. Even working with him at West Brom, he just inspired me as a person, not just a player, but what he come across as a man. And I learnt a lot from Brian. And then my manager was Bobby Robson.
What about Psycho?
Stuart Pearce. No, Ashley Cole was better.
Ashley Cole was better.
Right.
Okay. Anyone give you a headache though? Maybe Cole Walker at right back instead of Gary Neville. Maybe was that possible? Did that come into your mind?
Not really. No, because Gary Neville was your standard solid fullback who could. Yeah. Well, I just went for partnerships as well, and I just looked at Gary Neville and David Beckham, and they had one of the best partnerships at Man United and with England.
Yeah.
Cole and John Barnes. That's just like for me, it's like a flowing left-hand side of attack and defence.
And I guess if we ask you to do this in another 5 to 10 years, Jude Bellingham's probably going to be knocking on the door.
Jude would definitely be in there at the moment with the way that he's performing. But like you say, they're two greats. You got three greats there. Obviously, like it's a tough one with obviously Gerrard and Lampard as well missing out because again they never really played well for their countries together. Gerrard and Lampard.
That's right.
Whereas Paul Scholes, for me, he's just an artist. The only disappointing thing for me is that we've never won anything with them players.
Yeah.
That's been the hardest thing is that we talk about generations, golden generations. We're talking about this generation, but I just don't see us competing against the best.
Do you think that's because it was individuals rather than a team?
I think we're now more of a team. I think Gareth has brought the squad together to be more of a team. But now again, are we fitting the players in the right positions to play the formation, the best formation? What's our best formation as a nation?
And Craig, you've got some things lined up for us as well, haven't you? I believe we've got an international squad game and squad number game, and also Chris, have we got the Who as well?
It's all set up. Whenever you want to go,
we do the Who.
Just before we go into that, can I just talk about the ladies at the weekend? And
good result.
Brilliant. 3-1, yes.
Brilliant. 5 games on the banks now. The team definitely have gelled, and also being at St Andrews and actually sitting in the bottom tier of the COP, something that somebody hasn't done now for years, but it made such a difference. And it's just shy of 1,700 down at St Andrews to support the ladies. So a massive increase on the attendance, and Daz has really got the team firing now. And such a group of women coming together as quickly as what they have and gelling. It's actually great to see. And, we're now 2 points off the top of the table. Tough couple of games away from home coming up, and then a big break until the new year. But massive improvements, and well done to all that's been involved. Do you know? I don't know who's gone top. Charlton, thank you, Claire.
Charlton, yeah.
It's good to see that they've turned a corner and picked up on results and form as well.
Definitely. There's a question actually come in, Robbo, to say, would you ever consider managing ladies football?
There's always the option. I'm open to all options, really, with, like you say, becoming a manager and getting on the ladder, so you never know.
Never say never.
No,
would you consider football? Would you consider coming here and painting my living room because my back hurts?
No, that's something I don't like, painting.
So, Craig, hit us with this squad game then. What are we doing? Squad game and squad number game?
Yeah, I'm gonna do squad number game first. So, Robbo, what this is, I've chosen a random year and squad number, and it's from England internationals, and it's whether you can tell us who the player was for that particular squad number, and tried to make it a little bit harder. So, Mr. Hipkiss, I was amazed by your knowledge in the car on Thursday. So I'm going to take you back a few years now, and we're talking about the Euros in, what was it? Let's have a look. Euro Championship in '92.
Oh, I went to one of those games.
Well, I'm out because I was one.
Oh, you had to rub that little bit in, didn't you, Claire? So what I'm after is, can you remember who played in squad number? Oh, where are we now? Right.
Can you tell us what country we're in?
What, for the Euros at that point in time?
Yeah.
It was here.
Sweden.
Was Sweden.
Right, okay.
I wasn't at that game then.
And what I'm after is...
Okay, yeah. Graham Taylor's team.
It was Graham Taylor's team. And who played in number 15? So squad number 15 for that competition.
Gary Neville's brother. What was his name? Paul?
Phil.
No.
That's before. It's before that.
Phil Neville.
Then Graham Taylor.
Phil Neville, yeah.
You're looking at the likes of Colton Palmer and Jeff Thomas and Tony Daly and people like that, aren't you? I haven't just said him, have I, Craig?
No, you haven't. No.
Are you just asking Robbo here, or are you asking all of us?
Oh, I'm interested to see whether. I mean, obviously we've got to rule Claire out because she was only a little one.
Was it a winger?
Midfielder, number 15. I'll tell you that they played 24 times for their country.
Oh, have a guess.
They were 30 for July 63.
Why are you using it in a plural like they? They were.
They were. Well, okay, it is a
So there was more than one?
No, there's only one.
So he, then, not they.
Oh, he was born then. 30th of July 63. Yes, he did play at Manchester United.
I'll help you out, guys. Come on.
Was it Paul Parker?
No, it wasn't Paul Parker.
Neil Webb.
It was indeed Neil Webb, Mr. Hipkiss.
Neil Webb.
Who?
Neil Webb.
Yeah.
Did you play against him, Robert? Did you catch him?
No, didn't play against Neil.
No? Okay. Yeah, he was a good player, he was. I remember.
Yeah, it was.
Eddie.
Yeah. And what else are we doing, Craig? Squad game?
So I've got a squad game. There's no pressure here, Robbo, but Paul's decided he wants to challenge you on this one. And what it is, I've got two, again, major competitions where England were part of it, and it's a question as to how many of the squads you can name in, is it 60 seconds we go with nowadays? 30 seconds?
I'm sorry. This is wrong, right? You should have let me play against Robert to go. Ball it, kiss, I'll have you.
30 seconds. We've got a name as you might have seen this on Saturday Social. They do it on Saturday Social, stuff like this on the Saturday morning. I don't know if you ever watched it, but this is where I got the idea. And we do.
Busy, mate. My kids on a Saturday now watching them play football, Paul. You got too much time on your hands, mate.
I know. Tell me about it. So yeah, go on then, Craig. What we got?
So the question is, who wants to go first?
Oh, you go. If you watched it, then go on. You lead the way.
Let's. Has anyone got a coin? Let's toss a coin. I'll go tails.
Hang on.
Then I can.
Hang on.
Tails wins.
I've only got a bank card.
And then I can decide. Whoever wins the toss decides who goes first or second.
Was it heads or tails then, Paul? What did you say, Paul? Tails.
Tails, yeah.
It is tails, yeah.
So we're naming what we're naming.
I'll go second. So it's how many players you can name in 30 seconds. So you've got to be quick. For the squad, whatever Craig says now, the England squad in whatever competition he says, how many players can you name in 30 seconds? And however many you get, I've got to beat that number when I ever go in 30 seconds on whatever he says for me.
Okay. So how many seconds is it? 30 seconds or
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. So do the countdown yet?
Yeah, so Robbo, your squad is the 2006 World Cup squad where Sven-Goran Eriksson was the head coach.
Right, so where was that again?
Germany,
yeah. Right. And England got to the quarter-finals to help you out in that one. Right, Chris, are you timing?
Okay, then, on your marks, get set, go.
Right, so I'm going to go Ashley Cole, Rio Ferdinand, Danny Mills, Jamie Carragher, Joe Cole, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, 2006, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Emil Heskey, Michael Owen.
There you go.
Not bad.
I think you may find a lawsuit against copyright for that in a minute, Chris.
How many was that?
That was 9.
9.
Decent. Ooh.
Not bad.
So,
Decent.
Mr. Hibkiss, no pressure. But your team is the World Cup of 1998, where we went out in the round of 16. Glenn Hoddle was the manager.
Okay.
I was there.
All right, then. Okay.
What you say, Robbo?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. You
Even
do
I
this
could get
every
that
morning.
one.
I'd be embarrassed if you didn't win this.
Not this subject. I don't do it every Saturday morning, but it's not. It's not this subject.
You said you have.
He did it on Thursday night as well, Robbo, so I just know what he's going to come out with now.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
5, 2, 1.
Seaman, Anderton, Adams, Southgate, Neville, Graham Lasso, David Batty, Paul Ince, David Beckham, Michael Owen, Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, Steve McManaman, Tim Flowers, Rio Ferdinand, Teddy Sheringham, Paul Scholes. No, I'm struggling. Did I say Steve McManaman? Phil Neville. I think Phil Neville might have gone as well.
Time up.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. That.
Did you mention Sol Campbell?
I didn't say Sol Campbell, did I?
Sol Campbell, yeah. No, you didn't. That was
you're nothing but a loser. You're nothing but a loser.
Was that the year that Hoddle had to go at Beckham? And it was on his Beckham thing, the Netflix, 98, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's right. Yeah. How many was that, Craig?
Okay, Craig, so how many did Paul get?
He got 11.
11.
Still close, though.
But I've got a question, actually, for everybody here. So, who played as number 17 in that squad that season? And Paul, you haven't named them. 17, they were a midfielder. And
are we going for the plural again?
David Batty?
No, it wasn't David Batty.
Wasn't Merson, was it?
Nope. He was number 15.
You said he was 17.
Somebody is right.
The Ring Road.
France 98, number 17.
Mm-hmm.
Is he an ex-Blues player by any chance?
He may have turned out for them. I'll say you for definite.
It's Mr. Sicknote. What's his name? Yes. Anderson.
It was number 14.
14, wasn't he?
I remember I said he may, which means he may not have turned out.
No, wasn't Robert Lee, was it?
It was Rob Lee, yeah.
Rob Lee.
Well done, Paul. Well done.
Yeah,
so, Robbo, last time we had you on, you may recall that we played Wes Thomas talking, and you didn't guess. Yeah. So we got another one for you.
Oh yeah, come on then.
Okay, you might have to turn it up a bit.
So from your time with us, this guy. Yeah.
A long season for me so far. Obviously playing abroad, and things didn't go quite as promised over there. And I was just hoping to get back to England and play, and I got an opportunity to come massive club like this, and with the gaffer. And
it wasn't Pennant, was it?
No.
Wasn't Townsend? It wasn't Roberto Morrison, was it?
No.
No, that's not Rab's.
No.
That's not Rab's voice. I know Rab L's voice.
There's three people that have come up with the same name. I don't want to shout out, but Paul, I don't know if you've seen it.
I'll tell you the foreign club. I'll tell you the foreign club that we signed him from. Was CSKA Sofia.
Bloody hell!
Right.
Well, that's my guess gone out the window.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can tell you nobody.
He was released. He was released by CSKA Sofia, and then he came to us. And he was signed in January 2014. And he wasn't with us long, and then he moved on. Literally a couple of months later, played 5 games for us and scored 1 goal.
Right, okay. There is somebody on Facebook.
Mark Brooks has got him. Yeah, well done, Mark Brooks deserves a prize for that, Chris.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
That's one hell of a name.
How the hell did you remember that?
Someone's got him, Robbo, if you want me to tell you, but unless you want to have another think a bit longer. It's bugging you, innit?
It's bugging me, yeah. Because I like when you shut your eyes, you know the voice.
Did he play for Barnsley?
He did.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Yeah. Is it Brian Howard?
Brian Howard,
Well done.
Brian Howard.
Yeah, nice one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And well done, Mark Brooks.
He's now an agent. Brian's now an agent.
Is it?
Yeah, he's an agent, yeah.
Okay.
So we're now into the last 10 minutes of the show, ladies and gentlemen. What is the subject tonight that we're debating?
Did we agree? I think we football. Anything to do with football and furniture.
Furniture.
Yeah.
Peter
I want to
Couch.
go for the chairman of the board.
Couch, very good.
Peter Couch. There you go.
Oh, I like that.
Hey, well done.
There's a bloke that plays for QPR called Chair, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah.
I'll put it out there with Crystal Palace.
Crystal.
Robbo, I've got some quick for you as well, Robbo. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you some very quick fire questions. So, favourite holiday destination? Portugal. Favourite sport outside of football?
Golf.
Best and worst subjects at school?
Definitely, I'd say geography. And my best would have been PE.
Yeah. Quickest player you played with?
Martin Albrechtsen.
Okay, yeah.
Fullback,
What's one thing you can't live without?
My family.
What was your first job? Did you
My
ever have
first
another
job was a paper round.
Was it?
Yeah, age 15, on the bike in the morning.
What's your worst habit?
Worst habit is, I hate mess. I hate my kids leaving mess.
And then the last concert you attended?
Can I say I sat in front of the telly and watched it?
Yeah.
Doesn't take that.
God, last concert must have been Justin Timberlake at Birmingham at the NIA.
Oh, wow. Is that going back some?
Yeah, that's going back some time, yeah.
Yeah. Are you due to go to another concert then, mate?
Yeah, I'm definitely due for another concert, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, it was, flip me. Oh, my missus. Oh, what are they called?
Glastonbury.
Massive band. No, it was in Birmingham.
Shawadi.
Oh, God.
Not Kasabian, was it? Kasabian or...
not Kasabian, no. Wasn't Kasabian.
Prodigy?
No.
Where was it, Robbo? NIA.
Yeah, it was at the NIA again.
Don't know. Last minute penalty for your life. Who's taking it?
Oh, Kevin Phillips.
Kevin Phillips, great shape. Yeah. And who's the best player you've ever swapped shirts with?
David Beckham.
David Beckham.
But I've got a few. I've got Paul Scholes as well. So I play Paul Scholes as well.
Have they all, you got them all there, have you? They're all framed and that?
No, they're in the other room. This is my office. I got like my memorabilia there with me England and that.
And what's his security arrangements?
Mark's got a reputation, Robbo, for asking people about mementos. He always asks every guest we ever have. He always say, "Have you got any mementos?" So we've all picked up on it now and bought him a packet of mementos.
Actually, he's got a bigger reputation now after Thursday.
I took a screwdriver to Anfield to try and,
I was not about that. I was on about the other couple of things.
One more, Robbo. You can invite 3 people around for history, Robbo.
3 people around for dinner?
Yeah, dead or alive, anywhere in history.
I would probably go with Jason Statham. So I love him, love watching his films and all that. Yeah. I would go with Victoria Beckham.
Mm.
And the last one, I would probably say Prince Harry.
Okay, yeah. It's not interesting combination there. I'm sure that'd be a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been watching The Crown, Robbo?
Yeah, watch bits of it. Yeah, not a lot. My wife's into that. Yeah, she likes watching it.
Yeah, my missus watches it, and I watched it last night. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
with the Diana and that. Yeah, so
yeah, some great bits in it.
I watched it last night as well with my wife.
It's superb. Look to the crash in the tunnel and that. Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Some great names that are coming through for the last 10, should we call it, this time around. So we've got Ollie Gunner sofa chair, Kevin Stall, Shays Long Adams, Ricky Ottoman, Wayne Arumi, Wardrobe Bellingham, Ian Handeside's board, Bed Evans, Emil Desky, John Joe Shelfie, which I thought was quite good, Jeff Rocking Horse from Nigel Mann, Jim Tony has gone for a Mari table.
What about Lou Macari?
That classed as furniture?
Oh yeah, toilet. Yeah, toilet. Carry on.
So Femi Martins from Mark Brooks.
Sofa, like it.
I've got one. It's only one a month, but this is the one for the month. Oliver Tabley.
I like it.
Nigel Mann's been thinking way too much about this because he's gone with Craig Courtney on the table, slowly turning into Hotter Cuddly Toy. Yeah, that's all we can say. Yeah. Dilly had a bowl of IKEA catalogues from Michael Woods.
You haven't missed many at all this season, have you? There's only been a couple in there.
With the ones in midweek, I'll still do Platinum, so the Owners, all the rest. So just do Blackburn and Cardiff, but I'll watch them on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, Benji wants to know where Mummy Giblin is and where's her guest in tonight's last
over there. She's got a daughter back for the one night only.
Pete Taylor's also now coming with Mark Wardrobe.
We need to quickly get our predictions in, don't we? Because we have actually got a game to predict them.
Oh yeah, blimey.
Yeah.
Can I start?
No.
I think we're going. I think we're going to actually win a game at some point. So I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay. Shall I go next?
Go on then.
Go on, Nick.
1-1.
Go on, Paul. Go on, Paul.
Wish for Wednesday. 1-1 wish for Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
4-0. 4-0 Blues.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they're a bad team. They're a poor team.
Paul Lucas.
I'll go 3-1.
Craig.
I'm going to have to go with Robbo in the 4-0, but just to say, Chris, there's a couple of people that are saying 6-0, so you better get worried.
Well, I'm not worried. I'm looking forward to it.
He said he'd do the show naked, Robbo, if we scored 6 goals in one game. He's been saying it about years.
Yeah.
Right, I'm tuning in for that one.
I've got to get a hoot in here if it does happen.
But now Chris also includes the warm-up.
The last time we scored 6, you was playing against Reading at home and Fulham away and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I was going that one.
Yeah.
Alan, your prediction?
2-1.
Gibbon. Okay. And Claire, I think we had yours, Claire?
I'm going to be optimistic. Let's go 2-0 Blues.
I'll go for a 1-0 Blues.
And on the show board, we've got Paul Lilly with 3-0. Nigel Mann said he hopes it's 2-0 or it's 10-1 and Rooney to go, with a laughing face afterwards. We've got Michael Woods. Oh, Mike, can't say that one. Blues 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. No. Jason Hughes has gone for 1-0 Blues. Steve Portman 3-1. Trevor John Smith has said 4-2. And Rail Bro's asking, what's next for Robbo and how soon do you think it will happen?
Not too sure. For me, it's I just want to switch off. Like I said before, and before we come on air, I had 2.5 years of travelling down to London back and forth while my family stayed in the Midlands, and yeah, I just want to switch off. I just want to spend quality time with my family for a bit, enjoy my Christmas with the kids and my wife, and then in the new year, ready to go again, refreshed and recharged.
Well, what can I say? I've struggled through tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but I've lasted the course. As is everybody else here, because they're all old and knackered like me. This is a Tilton Talk Show sponsored by Thomas Small Affordable Cars, which we appreciate so very much. Robbo, an absolute delight to talk to you again tonight. You know what? You're welcome on the show. Well, anytime you want. Open door. Apart from when, Chris?
It's closed.
Okay, so thank you to the team tonight, Mr. Mark Adams.
Thank you all. Hey, thank you all. Thanks for listening and have a brilliant week. And take care, Rob. Speak to you soon.
Claire Giblin.
See you all on Saturday. Keep right on. Let's go.
Nice one. Craig Courtney.
Right, everyone. Look, Saturday's going to be loud. It's going to be proud. And we're going to have St Andrews fully open soon, so let's make sure he's rocking when it is.
Chairman of the board, Alan Watto.
Good night, everybody. And good luck to England.
Paul Hipkiss.
Pleasure as always. Keep right on.
And from the gaffer, Chris Brown.
Good night. God bless.
From myself, good night. God bless. Take care. Have a great week. But I'm going to leave the last few words to the one and only Robert.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for having me on. It's all
right. We'll send you the invoice.
Faces again, and keep right on. And I hope the positive result of the weekend for you all.
And 5 years' time, Robbo, you're the gaffer.
Nice.
All right, John boy.
Hello, Billy Ball.
Night, Mark Meredith.
Good night, Mark in America.
I just realised he wasn't on tonight.
Mark's probably eating turkey by now.
Good night, Wayne Rooney.
Bye from the Paul Hipkiss show.
It's only one person.
Good night, Gibbers.
Bye, Claire.